everybody, my name is Denny and today I'm going to be replacing a broken tailgate latch on my 2008 Smart Fortwo. This job is relatively easy to do. It requires only one tool and it's actually affordable because the replacement part for it is only about 45 bucks. I picked this up just a little while ago at my Smart dealership in Hartford, Connecticut, which is about 30 miles away from here. So here's the deal. The tailgate latches are located on either side of the tailgate, and to operate it, it's just a matter of pulling this lever back and then you can open the tailgate. However, unfortunately, the lever on this side of the car just kind of broke loose. I don't know what caused it. I think it was probably just fatigue of the material, but well, that causes a problem because without having the lever, you can't, number one, open the tailgate, and you can't access the things inside the tailgate. I use this tailgate storage space for all my tools. The tool that I need to repair this job is actually inside the tailgate right now, so I got to figure out a way how to get this thing open. So before I was even able to order the part, I had to know if I could do the job. In order to do that, I had to access that latch. I went to the internet and I looked up some information on how to open the tailgate if the latch is broken. And the information that I found didn't seem to be what I was looking for. One website though did say that if I take a screwdriver and push at the back side of the lever that you can pop it open. Well, I tried that. I got myself a screwdriver. It didn't seem to be really clear. The website didn't really seem to be very clear. So I did get a screwdriver and I started prying around on the inside and discovered that it wasn't going to release the tailgate as easily as I thought. There's actually a cam in there that you have to rotate around, and I'm going to show you how you can open the tailgate using just an ordinary screwdriver. Okay, so here's my broken latch. And actually I've already gotten it out. My dilemma was originally that I was trying to get this thing to release by prying at the latch mechanism, which is down below here, where the door and the side come together. And in order to access this piece, it's actually broken off on the inside. I don't know if you can see this is just kind of flopping loose. So once I determined that this piece was actually broken off, I tried to manage to wiggle it out of here, and I had a heck of a time. I got it turned all the way around and I wanted to get it through this opening, and in the process of doing so I actually broke off the back half of it. The latch itself looked more like, let's see if I can get these two pieces together again. The latch itself looked more like this here, and then as I wiggled it, it broke off this back piece, and that enabled me to get this section out. The broken piece dropped down inside, and I was very careful. I used some tweezers to get this piece out because I was worried that it was going to maybe catch some of the mechanism on the inside and prevent me from opening the tailgate. Now, in order to open the tailgate, the piece that's inside needs to be rotated towards the back of the car. So in order to do that, I'm going to simply apply pressure to the back side of this, and now you can see that releases the mechanism. Okay, that's all I had to do. Put a little bit of pressure on the back side of that. I'm going to insert a still picture so you can see a better view of that. Once again, I'm going to do it. I'll do it again. Okay, this is a really difficult camera angle, but this is what the latch looks like once the piece is out of there. You can see there's a spring here. This is the spring that pulls the lever back into the forward position. I'm pulling it back right now toward the back of the car. So this is the piece that's broken off, and if you look very closely you can actually see part of a shaft that goes right down the middle. In order to get this to release, I'm going to put the screwdriver along the back side of this thing, and I'm going to push down, and that little bit of pressure is enough to get it to release. So now I'm opening the tailgate. All right. Here it is again in slow motion. You can see the shaft in the center as the piece rotates around it. Now that the tailgate's open, I can access the one tool that I need to finish this job. And that one tool would be this. It's a Torx set, and you're going to need 3 of these Torx wrenches. First thing you got to do is you got to disconnect the yellow panel from the inside of the car, and to do that there are 4 Torx screws along the back side on the inside of this cover, and there are 2 on the outside. Before you launch into this project, one little suggestion. I suggest that you check your license plate light bulbs to make sure they work, because while you have that cover off the back of the car, that's the only way to access the light bulbs that illuminate the license plate. So if you have a bulb out, this would be a good time to change it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and release the outer panel, this outer panel, from the inner part of the car here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off these 2 side screws and then the 4 screws along the back here. Once you do that, this whole assembly here on the back is going to drop off. So I'm going to leave 1 screw in place for a little while. Now this last one is going to let the whole assembly drop down. I don't want to let it drop quite yet. So I'm going to loosen this screw, but I'm not going to take it out completely quite yet. I will take it out eventually. But I'll show you before I do that, I want to loosen the latch. So before I get the tailgate completely off, I'm going to loosen the nuts that hold the latch mechanism in place, and this latch that holds the cable, because they're all connected together. So the cable latch is my biggest Torx, and it just comes out pretty easily. And that's all one piece right there, so just let it dangle. And the other one, I'm not sure what the size is, next size down. Let me just switch wrenches here, and I'm going to loosen these. And when you loosen these, it loosens a plate on the inside. I'll show you that. You can see the plate on the inside as I'm taking these nuts out. It's going to release this plate. There's 1/2. And the other. Okay, now the latch mechanism is free. Replace the plate and the 2 screws. Set them aside. If I can get that second screw out. Okay, so this is the replacement part that I picked up this morning. You can see it's got the lever at the top, and there's the catch mechanism. Let me show you how this works. Here's what happens when the catch strikes that metal bar. It locks it into place, captures it like this. Okay, I hope you can see that. All right, captures it, and then to release it, you pull back and it releases the bar. So captured like so, release like that, and the release has to do with the cam that's inside. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna open the lid one more time. I'm gonna take the pressure off and release this final screw that's been holding that plastic in place. I can kind of close this down now, lift the tailgate up, and you'll see that this whole assembly drops off. And oh wow, the lock mechanism came right out. And there's a foam block. You see that little foam block that it nests into, just like that. I'll show you that in a minute. I'll show you this too, how it all goes back together. But while you're here, these are your tail lights fixtures. There's 2 bulbs back there, and this whole assembly will come right off if you disconnect the wires, but I'm not even going to bother with that. I'm just going to hold it with my leg. Just support it, and the upper piece, just going to rest it against me, and the replacement latch mechanism is going to fit right up in here. Just fit the lever through the opening, and I'm going to open this little hatch here and get the screws started. Okay, I'm going to get that metal plate on the inside and get that on. Let's get it started anyway. Okay, just a matter of taking up the slack. Now there may be a little bit of adjustment you might want to do, so I'm going to leave it a little bit loose at first because I still have to put that other piece in. So just enough to hold it in place, just a little bit of resistance on there. The cable, support cable, also goes on here, which is the largest wrench. And that should bolt right into the same mechanism. And that one, you can put a little torque on it. So that's it. Once you got these screws tightened up a little bit, you can go ahead and take this foam block, and that fits right over the top of that mechanism. I think it just keeps it from vibrating around, and it should just tuck right on there. And now what you want to do is you want to put the back panel back on. So it's just a matter of making sure it's in here at the bottom. Just a little finagling will do that. There we go. One side, the other side. Pull it up a little. I think I'm right there. There we go. Okay. And let me get a screw started, hold it in place. Take one of these large head screws, get it started on that. That'll be enough to hold it, so go ahead and get the rest of the screws and put them right in. Okay, so at this point, I got all the screws in all the way around. I'm just going to tighten up these things now. They don't have to be super tight, just a little snug. And if the tailgate doesn't latch right, you can kind of finagle it a little bit, but it seems to only have one position. And let's see if it works. Close this. And ready? I got my fingers crossed. Here we go. So far, so good. Awesome. Job well done. So that's it. The tailgate's back together. The latches work. I'm a happy camper. My dog's a happy camper because now he can ride back in the back of the car again. Before I go, I want to show you one more thing. Going back to my Torx wrenches, I'd like to show you a little something I did to my driver's door. If you seem to have the same problem that I've been having with door latches, maybe you can use this tip too. If you've ever tried to open your door and this latch just pops out, but it doesn't release from the inside. It's a pain in the neck. You have to go around to the passenger side, open that door, and then you can open this door from releasing the inner latch. But this outer latch has given me problems in the past, and I initially brought the car to the dealer to get it fixed, but now I'm going to show you how you can take care of the problem fairly easily. Inside the door, you can see that there are 2 Torx screws. These are right opposite where the door handle is, which is over here. So what you're going to do is you're going to remove those 2 screws. Take them all the way out. With those inner screws removed, you can now take and slide this handle assembly backwards just a little bit, and it'll come right off. Alright, so on the inside you can see there's white plastic and black plastic. The black plastic is actually part of the handle from the outside, and when I pull on the handle, it pulls down on that lever, which releases the cable, pulls on the cable, which releases the door lock. Now what keeps happening is the plastic, if you can see how close it is to the edge, it keeps becoming disengaged. So what I've done is, you can see this kind of discolored spot back here, is I hot glued a small washer underneath where this white plastic hits to keep it from going further back than it normally would go. By hot gluing a piece of a small washer back there, it hasn't had any problems since then. So once you do that, it's just a matter of putting it back together again. Okay, so to put this back together again, you're going to align these 2 pieces with these 2 holes right here. So all you got to do is set that down in there like that, and then you want to run this rubber gasket up over the top when you get it in place, and then you're going to push, oops, almost got it, and you're going to push it forward just to latch it in place. Replace the 2 screws and your door's back in business. So there's the old broken part, and the new one's in place. It works perfectly. I'm satisfied. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you found it useful, give it a like, subscribe if you want, and share the video, and maybe we can help other people who have similar issues with their cars. Thanks for watching, and have a good day. Bye-bye.